It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's basketball season. Another season underway for the Eastern Washington women. A new season, almost a new year, and with it, resolutions and unfinished business for the Eags. The gang's all back as the Eagles made a statement their last turnout to Reese with a 21-point win over Mountain West foes of Boise State. Now Jody Gleason and the Eags protecting home court for the last time in 2023. Live from Reese Court in Cheney, Washington, you're watching women's college basketball on ESPN+. It's a preseason game for the 5-2 Eastern Washington Eagles and an exhibition game for the 4-4 Walla Walla Wolves. Jamie Council joined by Luke Burns. Eastern Washington, they're kind of getting a taste of their own medicine. This is something that we talked about, that Omaha, they're getting the points off of turnovers. They don't have the size, and they're finding ways around that. We thought it would be closer, and this one has a lot of value when it comes to who's going to be in the driver's seat in the Big Sky.
Yeah, it's a big game for both teams.
And Eastern Washington giving Weber State one of their 2 wins this season, making sure it's a different tune this time around where there's just now 2 remaining games before the conference tournament. 19 points off of turnovers, 7 players scoring, and 2 in double digits between Aaliyah Alexander and Bella Hayes. Portland State shooting nearly 60%, so they're doing something with the opportunities that they have. 9.3 seconds left. Easton ball, Allegri. Guarded by May Wynn. 5 seconds. Steele Venters for 3, and he makes it! Steele Venters finishing with 25 points. A shot to win the game. Steele, you guys have kept it close, but how does that feel being able to pull out that win in such a pressure situation?
Feels really good. We got up early.
4-3 off the mark by Lawrence. Lawrence again for 3. This time she sinks it. That's 3 points and the lead for the Eastern Washington Eagles. He has 14. Sayers back the other way.
Somehow gets that to fall. It appears it was blocked off the backboard, but able to roll in there. Great strength there from Leon Sayers.
Pravid Johnson. Tyreek Luke.
What a
coming
pass.
in from behind. They kick it out to Moriarty. Count it. Moriarty now with 12.
Beautiful pass there by Marcus Cole. Going airborne, able to throw it through 3 people.
Vandals up by 1 with 33 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and Wallace getting the turnover. Bounce pass to Johnson. 1, 2, 3. That's 2 points and the 3-point lead for the Vandals. Can't get it to go, but Coward coming down with the rebound. Allegri. Try again. Venters can't get it, but Allegri coming up big. He had 17 points last game, and he's had 15 games out of 22 in double figures. Pass to Loetta off the mark as the Vikings with a 21-13 lead. A shot from the elbow knocked down by Cinco McCartney. 23-13 double-digit lead now for Portland State. And a lively crowd we have here at Reese Court. Behind me is the Flight Club. Number 1 rule about the Flight Club is you don't talk about the Flight Club. Haven't been tested, and I think coming out with Bellevue, the pressure they brought was kind of a punch to the jaw for Everett. They won by 12 in the Final Four, won by 20 in the Elite 8, and won by 28 in the Sweet 16. So they're not used to being down in double digits, as the Trojans will have the ball to start this second half. We're underway. Tyreek Luke guarded by Sayer Sangor and Pravid Johnson. He kicks it out. Spencer Molina, the awkward shot, gets it to fall. And Trojans come out hot in this second half as Molina, the bucket and the foul. That is also Pravid Johnson's second personal. And let's see that hardware holding that up. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice,
Come on
Pravid.
now. Yep.
And to just talk about coming into this game, I mean, you guys were ready, went on a 15-2 lead to start the game and kept it double digits. Yeah. What was the game plan coming into it? Where Everett, they've not really hit any adversity so far in this tournament, quite the opposite of your guys' story.
Yeah. So we knew we had to play up because they're shooters, so we knew the game plan from the start was to be up tight on them.
He is standing in there, taking one for the team, drawing the charge.
That's what I love about watching this team. They all know their roles. Alexander for three, and she knocks it down 8-0. All Eastern Washington to start this one. 15 seconds left on the shot clock as they work around the perimeter. And Boise is a team that loves to share the ball. And how about that with the shot clock at 3? Lalott kissing it off the glass. It's 9-5. Davis gives it to Coward. And Coward, he now has a double-double with 10 rebounds and 11 points coming off the bench. And he dominated at the D3 level. Now coming to the Big Sky, he's finally catching up, and he's David Riley's Swiss Army knife. It's now a three-point game, and Grant now with 5 points. Leah Alexander, turnaround off the mark as Omaha tracking it down. Watson, Cave, going hard. She hits the deck. The whistle stays silent, and here comes the Eagles the other way. 4-3, Lawrence off the iron. Buckley tracks it down.
10-5 now for Jacinta Buckley.
And they're trying to find the size of Knowles. Omaha spits it up, and Jacinta Buckley trades it in for an easy 2. Buckley now with 12.
Yeah, hey, look what I found.
Stepping in is Lainey Rogel. So sisters, Lainey Rogel and Quinn Rogel, the sophomore and the senior, both on the court as Quinn Rogel creating the turnover and kissing it off the glass for 2. And take a look at Tim Reve on the sideline. He is pumped up. Pac-12, UW, big things in your future. What are you going to take away most from your time here with the Bulldogs?
I definitely think cherishing every moment because you never know when it's going to be your last.
Vandals coming hot in the second half, 47-34 here at the ICCU Arena.
Fans, take a look to Vandal Vision.
From Reese Court in Cheney, Washington, it's time for NCAA women's basketball on ESPN+. It's a Big Sky Summit League crossover. Omaha 4-9 visiting the 10-3 Eastern Washington Eagles. Jamie Council joined by Luke Burns, and the Eagles are on a 4-game winning streak, and they're seeing their first action in 2024. Happy New Year's, Luke Burns.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you. Good college basketball matchup tonight. Eastern Washington been on the road for 5 straight, so the first time we'll see them since prior to Christmas in this Summit League Big Sky matchup.
Let's take a look at our impact players, starting with the Eagles. It's Aaliyah Alexander, the Big Sky Player of the Week, her second this season.
Yeah, you see that 22 points a game last week. Aaliyah scored 23 and 21 last weekend. You see the efficient shooting. She has 7 career 20-point games, 3 this season, 2 in the last 2 games. She's really heating up, becoming a real leader for this Eastern Washington squad.
Alexander leads the team in scoring, averaging 16.3 points a game. And for Omaha, their impact player is Kennedy Grant. She's coming off 32 combined points in 2 games last week, as well as she's going to play a big part on defense.
Yeah, Kennedy Grant second on the team in scoring, second on the team in assists, leads the team in steals. Always a key contributor to a pretty balanced offense. 3 players averaging around 11, 12 points per game.
Now let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game, presented by Jeremiah Johnson Brewing Company. Do well. 5 seconds remaining. Loetta feeding Martin, and Tradia Martin before the buzzer at the 9-point lead. What a finish to the half from the Eagles.
A 10-0 run over the final 3:48, a 19-2 run over the final 8 minutes of that first half, and then the quick trigger by Jadia Martin to close out the second quarter and give the Eagles a 9-point lead. Great find by Jamie Loetta. Patient, probing, waiting for the opportunity, and Martin able to capitalize.
You could tell that Loetta saw the time, and she was thinking, I got to get this thing to go in, and out of the corner of her eye saw my teammate has a better chance, and I'd want to put the ball in Jadia Martin's hands too.
I mean, that is always a smart play, to put the ball in the hands of Jadia Martin.
It's festive out here at Eastern Washington. The Eagle, Santa Eagle in the stands. And joining us is Skip Gleason. What a tale of two quarters, Skip. Just talk about the adjustments made. You guys had a timeout as well as between half. What adjustments were made night and day for you guys?
Yeah, honestly, I thought we were running pretty good action the first half. They were doing a pretty good job with their ball pressure, and I think they created a little bit of discomfort, and we were missing some shots. I think if we knocked down 2 or 3 of those open looks that we have in the first quarter, we're probably entering quarter number 2 tied, but that wasn't the case. So we came out a little bit more aggressive defensively. I thought we did a nice job of doing that without fouling, and obviously had a really good defensive quarter for us.
Yeah, talk a little bit, if you will, about Jadia Martin. She continues to come off the bench, obviously an explosive scorer. She came in and gave you guys an immediate spark offensively.
Yeah, what a nice tool to have, right, coming off of the bench. And obviously we could put her in the starting lineup and have a great player coming off the bench if we did that as well. So yeah, being able to be as deep as we are and have the scores coming off the bench is a big asset for us.
And you guys on Wednesday played a great game against Gonzaga, but one thing that on the stat sheet, second chance points 19 and 4, and that is a stat that is night and day. So talk about the adjustment of that, the second chance points and offensive rebounds that are paying dividends.
Yeah, I mean, clearly a very long, bouncy team in Gonzaga, so there was a lot of length there. I think they had 1 offensive rebound first half and 19 the second half. But obviously it's an issue. These guys have great rebounders as well. They have a lot of length, both at the guard and the post positions, but clearly a focus for us in our conversations and watching on film in the last couple of days and making sure we're finding a tag and a body and doing a good job with that box out. But not only just boxing out, is you got to go get the ball at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Skip.
Yep, you got it.
Good luck in the second half.
Appreciate it.
That's Skip Gleason, assistant coach for the Eagles. The Eagles 13-0 in second chance points, as at halftime they have the 28-19 lead over Boise State. You're watching women's college basketball on ESPN+. Eastern Washington starting off 2024 with a win 96-82 over Omaha in the first of 2 games in the Summit League Challenge. Jamie Council joined by Luke Burns in a great way to start off 2024. They started off big.
Yeah, you could see the stark contrast in size between the two teams, and Eastern Washington able to take advantage tonight. Their 2 starting posts, Jacinta Buckley and Millie Knowles, both with double-doubles, not to mention 23 points off the bench by Jaleesa Lawrence. Eastern Washington scoring just about every way possible tonight.
And let's talk about those bigs. First, we'll start with Millie Knowles, our player of the game. She had a double-double, 16 points and 13 rebounds, 7 on offense and 6 on defense.
Yeah, I mean, she mentioned in the post-game how easy things were for her, and she set herself up early for success against the smaller Mavericks players, but you mentioned the 7 offensive rebounds. She got herself a number of easy putbacks early on. And then from there, the confidence just sky high. And she was able to capitalize all throughout this contest. 16 points you mentioned. That's a career high on 8 of 8 shooting. She was just an absolute animal tonight on both ends of the floor.
And Millie Knowles saying coming into this game that they knew that they had the height difference, and that's not always the case. And not just Millie Knowles, but both bigs showing out. Jacinta Buckley also with a double-double, the 6-1 product, 22 points and 11 rebounds, playing a big part on defense. 8 of Jacinta Buckley's rebounds were on defense.
And she is an absolute mismatch nightmare for just about any team. You mentioned her height at 6'1", but she can go inside and post against smaller players. She can step out on the perimeter and face up against bigger players. And tonight, everything was working for Jacinta Buckley. A career high 22, 11 rebounds, so active on both ends of the floor. Just a terrific night for the transfer from UNLV.
And something that Jody Gleason talks about is you could have 7 or 8 players on Eastern Washington starting. Jaleesa Lawrence not starting, but she had a great performance tonight. And like I mentioned, coming off the bench, but she had 23 points of the 32 off the bench. The other 9 coming from Alexis Pettis.
Yeah, and she did so many good things. She was able to find an early look at 3 that went down for her, and then again, talk about confidence soaring. Really smart play by Jaleesa Lawrence, putting the ball on the ground, getting into the hole, taking advantage of her size on the perimeter, and then getting her hands on balls on the defensive end as well. She was absolutely terrific tonight, Jamie.
A great performance by Eastern Washington as they got the big win over Omaha on Wednesday night to start 2024. On behalf of Luke Burns and myself, Jamie Council, have a great night.